In the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, he constructed an immense golden statue that measured 27 meters in length and approximately 3 meters in width. He erected this statue in the plain of Dura, within the province of Babylon. Subsequently, the king issued a decree compelling all princes, governors, commanders, counselors, treasurers, magistrates, and every high official of every province to gather for the consecration of the statue that Nebuchadnezzar had erected. When all these dignitaries assembled and stood before the statue for consecration, a herald proclaimed loudly, "People of every tribe, nation, and language, listen to this decree. When you hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, lyre, and all kinds of music, you shall fall down and worship the golden image that King Nebuchadnezzar has set up. Whoever does not fall down and worship will immediately be cast into a blazing fiery furnace." Therefore, all the people from every tribe, nation, and language, upon hearing the sound of the music, fell down and worshipped the golden image that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Daniel's friends were accused of disobedience. Certain Babylonians seized this opportunity to lodge a complaint against the Jews. They said to their king Nebuchadnezzar, "May the king live forever. You have issued a decree that, as soon as the music sounds, all people shall fall down and worship the golden image, and whoever does not fall down and worship the golden image shall be cast into a blazing fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom you have set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have paid no attention to you. They do not serve your gods or worship the golden image that you have set up." The king was furious and commanded that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be brought before him. Then he said to them, "Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods or worship the golden image that I have set up? Now if you are ready at the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, lyre, and all kinds of music, to fall down and worship the image that I have made, very good. But if you do not worship, you shall be cast immediately into the blazing fiery furnace. And who is the God who will deliver you out of my hands?" Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to the king, "O Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to answer you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing fiery furnace, the God whom we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your hand, O king. But even if he does not, let it be known to you, O king, that we will not serve your gods or worship the golden image that you have set up." If you liked the video so far, support me by liking it. When Nebuchadnezzar heard these words, he was filled with rage, and his facial expression changed toward Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He gave the order to heat the furnace 7 times hotter than it was usually heated. Then he commanded the strongest men in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and cast them into the blazing fiery furnace. So these men, with their coats, their trousers, their turbans, and their other garments, were bound and cast into the blazing fiery furnace. Because the king's command was urgent and the furnace was exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire killed those men who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell bound into the midst of the blazing fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste. He asked his counselors, "Did we not cast 3 men bound into the fire?" They answered the king, "O king, true." He answered, "Look, I see 4 men loose, walking around in the midst of the fire, and they are unharmed, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of God." Immediately Nebuchadnezzar approached the opening of the blazing fiery furnace and called out, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out." And Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out from the fire. And the satraps, prefects, governors, and the king's counselors gathered together and saw that the fire had had no power over the bodies of these men. The hair of their heads was not singed, nor were their garments changed, nor was the smell of fire on them. Then Nebuchadnezzar spoke and said, "Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and delivered his servants who trusted in him, and have disobeyed the king's command and yielded up their bodies rather than serve or worship any god, except their own God. Therefore I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom people shall tremble and fear before the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, for there is no other God who can deliver like this." So the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon.